Shawn Jordan and Pat Barry is a guaranteed fireworks heavyweight fight.
When that bell rings, it's over, no matter who you are. And you might beat me, but you're gonna know you were in a war by the time that fight's over.
Barry looking to finish.
We're gonna throw some bombs on each other.
Good combination here by Jordan. Nice uppercut.
And see who can withstand the punishment.
If Roy Nelson keeps knocking down everybody they put in front of him, eventually there's going to be no choice but to give that guy a title shot.
Big country, man. That just took some serious power.
God gave me a gift of a good right hand.
Big shot.
A win over Roy Nelson, 6th ranked heavyweight, would be huge.
Miocic to Perillo. That kid is strong.
I will defeat Roy Nelson.
Dan Henderson versus Rashad Evans is a must-win fight for both of these fighters.
You are looking at a bona fide MMA legend.
Will I defeat Rashad Evans? Absolutely.
He can try to knock me out, of course. It's not gonna happen, so he better watch out.
Former light heavyweight title holder Rashad Evans clashes with future Hall of Famer and former Strikeforce champion Dan Henderson. 5th ranked heavyweight Roy Nelson goes toe-to-toe with heavy-handed Stipe Miocic. And lethal striker Pat Barry slugs it out with former college football star Shawn Jordan. The countdown to UFC 161 starts now.
Pat Barry is one of those guns blazing, all-out heavyweights.
And when he swings to finish fights.
He's got some really lethal striking skills. His leg kicks are amongst the best in the heavyweight division.
There's the leg kick again. Man, he's hurt. He's hurt. It's over. It is all over.
Wow.
Everybody's been kicked hard. Everybody's been punched hard. Everybody's got a story about the one time that they were hit so hard. I hit different. I don't hit hard. I hit scary.
1, 2.
My organs ache when he hits me, I swear to God. I know who likes to stand up and fight, and you know what? I don't mind standing up and fighting. I'm cool wherever.
Huge uppercut from Shawn Jordan. Followed on the knee, and that's going to do it.
Shawn Jordan is coming off of the very impressive win over Mike Russo.
Ready. Good.
He showed some incredible resolve, got through a really hairy first round, weathered the storm, and stopped an incredibly durable guy in Mike Russo.
Oh, these are big shots. He could end it right here.
This could be it. That's it.
And it is over. Shawn Jordan.
Shawn is a very physically strong, very athletic, up-and-coming heavyweight, and he knows that a guy like Pat Barry is going to bring the thunder. That is going to be a crazy heavyweight fight.
My nickname is HD, Pat HD Barry. HD stands for hype or die.
That's all you got? Come on, bring it. Bring the thunder.
It's an all or nothing. Give me everything you got or don't even bother starting.
You don't want my job.
I have a white dad and a black mom. I've got all the different genres of life. My first racial experience ever was right next door to Granny's house. They had 2 kids in the backyard. My brother and I and Drew were outside. They had 2 kids in the yard, and they just started screaming, "White boys. What y'all white boys doing around here?" And we're like, "We're white? Oh my God, we didn't know that." So we go back inside and tell my grandfather, I'm like, "Yo, I didn't know we were white." He was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Well, we're not white, we're not black. I mean, we're kind of like zebras, right? So how does this work?" I'm like 7, 8 years old, and he's like, "You're both. You're black, you're white, you're whatever. You're on whoever side is winning. So I'm whatever you want me to be." My parents traveled and opened bilingual elementary schools in other countries.
My mom is the most loving, caring, terrifying, scary, intense, passionate.
Are you looking at me?
I'm looking.
Are you looking?
I'm
Look
looking.
at me.
I'm looking.
Look at me. Are you looking? I'm serious.
I'm looking.
I'm serious right here. It's gonna go straight through your chest.
Yeah.
I can do this.
Yeah.
Because I'm your mother.
Yeah.
Look at me.
I'm looking.
I'm telling you.
My mom truly is 100% superwoman.
My mother gave us the world by herself. Dad passed away when we were younger.
Pat was 6. I was 12, and our little brother was 3. And our dad died of cancer.
I can remember camping trips, eating fruit that you pick off of trees. He was like just a real live mountain man. He was just the greatest thing that could ever be, you know, as far as I remember.
The last time they saw him was Christmas Day. And he made a tape for them. And Pat, he's attempted to listen to the tape 3 times, and he's never been able to make it. As soon as he turns it on and hears the voice, he just breaks up.
This is Dad's dog tags. He wore these for years when he was in the military. My grandmother found them in the attic 18 years ago. This is my most prized possession. Out of everything in life that I own, this is my #1. No rings, no watches, no earrings, no chains, no bracelets, nothing. I don't wear anything else. No other jewelry, nothing at all, just a dog tag. There's nothing in this world means more to me than my family. My family is my power source. My family is my reason for doing what I do.
It is that bond that made the events of August 2005 so devastating.
Hurricane Katrina, I don't think people will ever understand how it devastated everybody and everything around us.
This is the wall, or the levee per se, that the barge came through, broke through the wall, and landed right here on Granny's house. This is the house that we were all raised in. So every picture that you see of the barge in the hurricane, there's a little pile of rubble. That's the house that we were raised in. Destructive force of the water just came through and washed everything away. Layers of houses and lives, and it's just all gone now.
Since Hurricane Katrina, I buried my brother, my mother, and my sister. My mother as a result of the storm itself. When she saw that house, she worried herself into a major stroke and went in the hospital and went on life support, and 21 days later was gone.
Dedicate your entire life to something, you put so much love and effort into something, and then it just disappears. And her entire history was gone. There is no emotional response to what happened. None. The only thing you can do is just get quiet. You just take a deep breath, let it out, and you know that that breath that you just blew out will never be inside of you again.
In his quest to win an MMA world title, Pat Barry has traveled the world, living and training now in Minnesota. But his heart will always be wherever his family resides.
Wise man said, if you want to be the best of the best, it's going to be a lonely road. And I've given my entire adult life to this. I've been dreaming about this since I was a kid. I know that it doesn't come easy, so I've got to go above and beyond.
Coming up.
Big shot! Just like that! That's Roy Nelson, ladies and gentlemen.
Roy Nelson is a huge fan favorite. Not just because of the way he fights, but let's be honest, it's also because of the way he looks. No one looks more like a fan than Roy Nelson does.
I had my first baby Jackson. It's definitely changed things and put things in a whole new perspective of what's important in our life.
Like, I've always played sports all the way from Little League, played soccer probably for 8 years. I played every sport in the book. And then the first karate class I learned was at a rec center, and then from there I went from karate to kung fu. And then from kung fu to jiu-jitsu. I didn't even know what jiu-jitsu was, and I was like, it's wrestling with chokes? That's awesome. So, like, I've been doing it 26, going on 27 years. John Lewis, he was the first jiu-jitsu school in Las Vegas. So everybody and their mama came to John Lewis. Like, Chuck Liddell trained with John Lewis. Marvin Eastman to Boss Rutan trained with John Lewis. I just was, I think, pretty natural at it. And then all of a sudden I was teaching and coaching other UFC fighters.
You gotta keep running, just keep running, just run.
I've trained with Tito Ortiz, BJ Penn, Randy Couture. They were just doing it just to help the guys out to, you know, make them the better fighter. And then I got to the point where I actually got a house, and I got a mortgage, I got car payments. I just figured it'd be so much easier just to go fight and just take their money. And that's what I've been doing ever since.
Introduced himself to UFC fans by curtailing the ambitions of renowned street fighter Kimbo Slice.
Kimbo, you need to fight! Come on, Kimbo! Fight, darn. Winner, big country now.
But even when he laid out Brendan Schaub to win the 10th season of The Ultimate Fighter, Nelson was considered a novelty act.
Country Nelson!
Roy Nelson is a huge fan favorite, not just because of the way he fights, but let's be honest, it's also because of the way he looks. No one looks more like a fan than Roy Nelson does.
You are the Ultimate Fighter, Roy Big Country Nelson, ladies and gentlemen!
I look like everybody else, I act like everybody else. I'm not too good for it like everybody else. I think I'm just a breath of fresh air.
Starting with his TKO of MMA legend Mirko Cro Cop, Nelson has proven to be a legitimate threat to the heavyweight crowd.
Oh, he's got him hurt! And now he's on top. Big shots by Roy. Oh, that's a big right here. Go okay, stop, that's it. Big country, Roy Nelson defeats Mirko Cro Cop.
Roy Nelson has a real gift. His timing and his ability to knock men out with one shot. It's very rare.
Last May, Nelson made short work of 6'5" Dave Herman.
If you're being lazy with your jab, I might just come over the top, and then if you're a taller opponent, you know, definitely the overhand gives me an extra advantage.
51-second knockout. That's what's up.
7 months later, Matt Mitrione tasted his power.
Those gloves make it official.
One thing with Matt, because he's a southpaw, took a little bit longer on timing, and he's away from my power hand.
From his southpaw stance and Roy's orthodox stance, it opens up that kick to the body and to the arms.
I have to kind of get in and out faster versus my right hand's a lot closer to his face. I had to come underneath to an uppercut, and then it came back with a hook, and then back to the overhand to knock him out.
month before taking out Mitrione, Big Country became Big Daddy.
I had my first baby Jackson.
I love your smile.
It's definitely changed things and put things in a whole new perspective of what's important in their life. Me and my wife are like Siamese twins. We're attached to the hip. Now we're just Siamese twins with the third person attached to the hip. For me, I want to be a better father than my father was to me and just be the best dad out there. It's nothing really different, just a little more lack of sleep and a little more responsibility.
Yeah.
Just 6 weeks ago, Roy took care of business again, scoring his third first-round KO in a row.
The Chick Congo fight, the plan was to actually, grapple with him a little bit.
Roy initiates the clinch.
But then the ref broke his hook.
Break!
And then we just finished the fight standing up.
Oh! Big shot! They just like that! That's Roy Nelson, ladies and gentlemen.
There's very few people in the heavyweight division that can take guys out with one shot consistently the way Roy Nelson does.
You can't teach the kind of power that you possess, my friend. No, you can't. No, you can't.
His name may be difficult to pronounce.
Plenty ways that people have pronounced my name. Stipe, Stipe, Miocic, Miocic. I mean, yeah.
But his game is unmistakable.
Miocic has some serious skills. He's a very high-level wrestler. His takedown defense is outstanding. He's got very good striking, and he's a serious athlete.
Most people think I'm from Russia or Croatia, one of the two. They think I'm foreign. Where I grew up was in Euclid, Ohio. It's about 15 minutes east of Cleveland. I played a lot of sports when I was growing up. Football, wrestling, baseball, swimming, bowling. I mean, just name it. I mean, I tried it. When I went to college, I went to Cleveland State. I went there for 3 years. I wrestled and played baseball. This didn't work out for me, so I went to another school in NAIA named Tribeca. Nazarene University, played baseball. That was probably the best baseball I ever played with. When I got out of college, a friend of mine had a buddy that was fighting, needed a sparring partner for wrestling, so I go help him out and never left the gym.
Stipe made his MMA debut just 3 years ago.
Miocic, also a two-time collegiate national champion wrestler. Oh, that's it! Wow!
The guy came at me and I hit him and fell and I won. 17 seconds later. It was a good day.
That's all it takes to be a monster.
After winning his first 6 fights, all by knockout, Stipe made his UFC debut in October of 2011.
If I enjoy Beltran, a guy I see on TV all the time, the fans screaming, most fans like I've ever seen in my life,
Beltran, look at him, dropped down and picked up that same. He's a gorilla. That kid is strong. Oh, nice
Over the top
hand.
with the right hand.
Oh, look how easily Miocic takes him down, though.
The knee by Miocic. Miocic and Beltran go the distance. Stipe Miocic.
Thank you. Phil the Freeze fight. I thought he was going to try to take him down right away. And he started swinging, and I was like, oh, wasn't ready for that.
So both guys landing it well here. Good action, huh?
But then, caught with the right hand and finished him off. Got a bonus and all that, so can't complain.
A victory over Shane Del Rosario, who entered the fight undefeated, ran Stipe's record to 9-0.
Big shots by Miocic. Miocic beats him to the punch that time. TV maybe badly hurt Mike, but that is it. It is all over. Stipe Miocic.
I didn't know if there was any hype or not. I don't care. I'm just here to fight.
Beltran's in trouble.
We just heard
Stipe Miocic, he can steal all of the momentum that Roy Nelson has built up with these fantastic knockouts with one victory.
I do want UFC fans to know who I am. They can pronounce my name, they can't pronounce my name.
Stipe Miocic, ladies and gentlemen.
Up next.
Roy Nelson has this undeniable gift of knocking people out with one shot. And he has the entire heavyweight division terrified of getting hit by him.
The plan is to defeat Stipe, and hopefully in a devastating fashion.
You want to see the world go crazy? Roy Nelson, UFC heavyweight champion. Stipe Miocic is considered amongst the most promising guys in the heavyweight division.
Stipe's, definitely a big guy, up and comer. He's beaten some veterans of the heavyweight division, and he has a full training camp, so I'm expecting the best Stipe that anybody's ever seen.
Roy Nelson's a very tough guy. Every aspect of the game is good at, It's tough. Tough as they come.
Nelson is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, and his first 5 career victories were by submission.
He won many grappling tournaments, was amongst the very best heavyweight jiu-jitsu artists in the country. And when he entered into MMA, most people thought you were going to see more of the same. Thought we were going to see Roy Nelson taking people down and submitting them.
Oh, he's got him hurt!
But he hasn't scored a submission win since.
Hey, stop!
And 12 of his 14 subsequent wins are by knockout.
When I was younger, all I did was just know how to wrestle and do jiu-jitsu, so I'd just take you down and submit you. Take you down and submit you. Now, since I know how to knock you out, knocking people out is so much easier than submitting somebody. Since I want to get in and out, now I got so much faster.
Big country will crush you in this position. He's so good at positioning and holding guys down.
With Roy's grappling, he's black belt. I mean, guys know what he's doing down there, you know what I mean? He knows how to take people down, ground pound, he likes that crucifix.
Veteran on his back. There it is, he's got the mounted crucifix.
If he does try to take me down, hopefully, I can sprawl and get out, get back to my feet.
Look at him drop down and pick up that single. He's a gorilla. That kid is strong.
His wrestling is definitely UFC caliber.
Oh, look how easily Miocic takes him down, though.
I think he's had more takedowns in the UFC than I have, so he's somebody you have to definitely worry about taking you down and plus knocking you out.
Stylistically, we fight differently because I'm longer. I try to keep a longer reach.
Big shots by Miocic.
He likes to come in, try to use uppercuts and stuff like that.
God gave me a gift of a good right hand.
Somewhere along the line, Roy Nelson realized that he has this undeniable gift of knocking people out with one shot. And he has the entire heavyweight division terrified of getting hit by him. That is a fact.
Oh! A big shot! Just like that! It is all over!
When I'm fighting, I like to get off first and set the tone.
Pushing forward is Miocic.
Anytime when I'm in a fight, I always want to test and see what works.
Look at that, Roy, strong kicks.
If it's stand-up, or is it going to be the takedown, or is it going to be grappling?
And throwing that hard left kick. Oh, but Roy goes for the clinch.
I'll be comfortable with Roy, steady. If I just do what I'm supposed to and listen to my coaches and not fall to what he wants me to do.
Anybody in the heavyweight division, you have to worry about their power. If you're trying to get to that belt, you got to be worried about everything.
A win over Roy Nelson, 6th ranked heavyweight, would be huge. It would bump me up where I needed to be.
I've said it before, this guy will be the UFC heavyweight champion at some point.
I don't think it's much down, man.
The plan is to defeat Stipe, and hopefully in a devastating fashion. At the end of the day, I mean, we all come to fight, and we just want the W.
Roy, Big Country Nelson, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm gonna hit him with all my jabs, right hands, staying away from him. If he does come close, clinch him, work, knees.
We definitely have ourselves a fight.
I will defeat Roy Nelson.
There's a lot of people that look like Roy Nelson. There's not a lot of people that fight like Roy Nelson.
I can fight for the title tomorrow. Just give me a shot. I mean, that's what fans want to see. And if I lose, I lose. But if I win, you better hold your seats and hold on for the ride.
That guy will be the most popular heavyweight champion in the history of the UFC.
There's a lot of people that love Roy Nelson. I'm one of them. That dude's awesome.
You want to see the world go crazy? Roy Nelson, UFC heavyweight champion. The world will go crazy.
Coming up.
And there is that devastating right hand that Henderson is known for.
I feel like I can outstrike him anywhere. I just need to make sure that I'm aggressive.
I don't think it'd be a mistake to trade with him. I mean, I think I got some power too. If I get him down on the ground, I want to ground and pound him to his stun.
I've heard everybody says they're going to try and finish me.
Oh, high kick. Dan just smiles at him.
I'm not planning on being finished by strikes or submission or anything for that matter.
Dan Henderson versus Rashad Evans is a must-win fight for both of these fighters. There's simply too many top contenders, too many hungry young guns, too much to look at besides the old guard. A guy like Rashad, a guy like Dan Henderson, they have to prove to these young guns coming up that they are still amongst the very best in the world.
42-year-old Dan Henderson doesn't act his age.
After you turn 40, it puts a little bit of doubt in some people's minds, whether you can still hang with the young bucks. My body's been feeling good, and I've gotten smarter throughout the years with my training and making sure I don't beat my body up too bad in training camp to really go out there and be able to perform the way I need to. I feel young. I can get out there and still beat the crap out of all the young guys.
When you look at a guy that's been fighting in mixed martial arts since 1997 and he's in his 40s, it begs the question, when does he hang them up? When does he slow down? If he can show in a victory over Rashad Evans that he's capable, especially if he wins in devastating fashion, of beating one of the very best light heavyweights in the world, he puts all the doubters to silence.
You guys would like to see more of... Oh, Henderson! Hurt face out with that right! And the ground and pound! Henderson at the age of 40 has added the Strike Force Light Heavyweight Championship to his mantle! What a win!
Rashad Evans is only 33, but his 19 career UFC fights is the 12th most in the organization's history, and 7 more than future Hall of Famer Henderson.
Rashad Evans is one of the most talented light heavyweights in the world today. He's a high-level wrestler, an incredibly athletic guy with one of the best power doubles in MMA. His takedown defense is outstanding. He has an ability to adapt and learn. He's very tough, and he has had a long history of success in the UFC's light heavyweight division.
Rashad won Season 2 of The Ultimate Fighter as a heavyweight. later, he took out Forrest Griffin to win the light heavyweight crown.
And again, he caught that one. Big punches by Rashad. Rashad continuing to pay off. Forrest is in trouble. He's out. And it is all over. Rashad Evans is the new UFC light heavyweight champion.
And he's recently considered a move down to middleweight.
I kind of wanted to see what that weight class had to offer me. I feel like I can be definitely in a mix. You get a chance to compete against Anderson. That's like something you always wish for as an athlete. If I can go against arguably one of the best guys that ever put on some gloves, then I'd love to fight him. But at the same time, I don't want to go down to 185 until I get another shot at John Jones.
All right, right leg, right left.
This is a fight where if one guy wins in devastating fashion, he immediately gets thought of on the short list of top contenders for the light heavyweight crown.
Took a big shot right there.
This win is important in a lot of ways. Obviously, it does move me closer to getting a title shot, but Rashad's accomplished a lot in MMA. It's going to be a battle, and those are the things I absolutely love about this sport, and that's what gets me excited about this fight.
Oh, we caught him with that right. Rashad takes him again. Oh, my!
If you're not fighting to be number one, then what are you really fighting for? I want to be number one. I want to be the best.
At UFC 161, Rashad Evans will try to bounce back from a performance he'd rather forget.
Ready? Fight!
I'm embarrassed about that fight. A few things just kind of mentally threw me off in that fight, you know, just the timing and the range, and then I hurt my hand in the fight, and then that started to bother me, and I was thinking my hand broke, and then I just mentally just got out of the fight before I can get into it.
Nogueira has landed more significant strikes thus far in this fight.
I went out there and I fought like when you go out there and fight bad, you lose. After that loss, I went to my room and I sat there for like hours just staring at the wallpaper. And I'm like, what the did I just do?
Rashad's training partner, heavyweight Alistair Overeem, also lost that night, drawing criticism of their struggling South Florida-based team, the Black Zillions.
Honestly, I don't give a what the people say. That's just the truth. I don't really care. The truth of the matter is people are going to say what they're going to say. People will say Black Zillions camp, they're trash, they're horrible. I mean, every team in any sport always goes to a period where they lose. It's just part of competing. No team always wins.
2 minutes, go!
The team's original head coach, Mike Van Arsdale, left last July.
He's gonna be here all time. He's gonna step back and do this. Boom.
His replacement, Mario Sperry, departed in March.
Hook with the right. Yes, hook with the right.
With Mario, it didn't gel together for everybody. And that's something unfortunate because I love Coach Mario. He's one of my favorite coaches I ever learned under. The way the team is structured now, like there is no head coach. You have your striking specialists and all these different areas, and then you just decide which coach that you want to go to. When you want to start your camp, the coaches come together, they put a plan together for you, and they make sure you stay on it.
1, 2, 3,
I'm to the point right now, like I know what I need to do. I know what I need to do to get the results that I want to get.
Yes.
Now it's just a matter of me just doing what I already know how to do, trusting myself, and getting it done. I let myself down really bad in my last performance, and it hurt deep in my soul. And I can never allow that to happen again. Never allow that to happen again.
Dan Henderson can probably relate. The future Hall of Famer, owner of Pride and Strikeforce belts, had a UFC title shot in his sights in February, promised to the victor of his clash with Lyoto Machida.
I thought I would have the advantage against Machida in the clinch.
Dan clinches him, Lyoto pulls out. Another knee. Oh, left
I didn't really do a good enough job getting into there, and he did a good job just running away the whole time.
So good at getting away from those attacks, and that is so frustrating to a guy like Dan Henderson. He's just whiffing at air.
With that being said, I still felt like I did enough to win that fight.
Very close fight, tough to judge.
By split decision,
It's real frustrating that a fight like that had so much on the line. And now I'm not going to be getting that title shot.
At 42, time may be running short for Henderson. He's the oldest active fighter in the UFC, but still one of the most dangerous.
I'm sure I'm not quite as quick as I used to be, but I'm a little smarter. My experience has definitely made up for much more than what I've lost by aging a little bit. I don't feel like I've lost much.
Can you erect an MMA Mount Rushmore without that man, Dan Henderson?
I had a chance to compete against some of the best mixed martial artists of all time. Chuck Liddell, Tito Ortiz, Forrest Griffin, John Jones, Quentin Rampage Jackson, Nogueira, Machida, now Dan Henderson. I'm competing against the best of my time.
Sugar Rashad!
Rashad's accomplished a lot in MMA, and it's going to be a battle, and those are the things I absolutely love about this sport. That's why I do it, is the challenge that different opponents bring.
You are looking at a bona fide MMA legend!
He's a different challenge than almost anyone I've fought, so I'm really looking forward to that, and that's what gets me excited about this fight.
I'm excited about the opportunity to fight Dan Henderson. Dan Henderson is like, hands down, one of my favorite fighters of all time. Because he's little and he's got so much power, and he beats everybody. He beats them good too, knocks them out.
Henderson owns knockout victories over Vanderlei Silva. Michael Bisping. And Fedor Emelianenko. He's also defeated former world champs Minotauro Nogueira, Vitor Belfort, Rich Franklin, and Shogun Rua.
Rashad he's dangerous. You never know with him if he's going to be using his wrestling or trying to stand up the whole time.
Good uppercut. Oh, good combination by Rashad.
Rashad Evans has taken out 4 former champs. Chuck Liddell.
He's down!
Forrest Griffin.
Big punches by Rashad. Rashad continuing to take off.
Rampage Jackson.
There's the big takedown.
And Tito Ortiz.
I'm hoping he comes in and fights aggressively.
Dan's right hand is very dangerous. He knocks everybody out hard with a knife. Like, he just knocks them the hell out and they sleep for a long time.
I feel like I can outstrike him anywhere. I just need to make sure that I'm aggressive. He doesn't move quite as much as Machida does.
So good at getting away from those attacks, and that is so frustrating.
He's willing to engage a little bit more.
I don't think it'd be a mistake to trade with him. I mean, I think I got some power too.
There's certain tendencies everybody has, and Rashad likes to throw a nice overhand right that I need to be aware of.
Oh, big right hand by Rashad.
He's got head kick knockouts as well.
Rashad Evans is a very high-level wrestler, but Dan Henderson's Greco-Roman is on another level. Greco-Roman wrestling translates into MMA very well, especially in the clinch. And that is one of the places where I feel like Dan Henderson could be successful with Rashad Evans.
And that's one of my bigger aspects, and what I do best is work from the clinch.
Oh, nice knee by Henderson. Those are coming up and over the top.
I can do some pretty good damage to the guy with strikes or work on his cardio a little bit there and wear him down.
I'm strong enough to hang with him in the clinch.
Nice combination by Evans. Slugfest.
I'm not worried about the clinch. I think I might be able to take him down from the clinch, so he better watch out.
Oh, he's back down and inside control.
It's happened before. Machida got a nice little foot sweep there that caught me off guard.
Taken down by Machida. Takes Dan down.
I would love to take that challenge.
I see that he goes for a lot of power, and when you use a lot of power, you wear yourself out. So naturally, if he tries to go for a couple home run slugs on me, then after a while he will fatigue himself out. And that's the worst place to be.
Move, Rashad, don't stop, Rashad. Move up.
Sometimes if I'm throwing a lot of punches and they're hard, yeah, it was how the fight with Shogun went.
Vicious elbows by Dan. Uppercut by Henderson.
Because he didn't fall down very easy, I threw a lot more, and that's what made me tired. Anybody that's going to stand there and bang with me, if I'm throwing a lot of punches, they'll be getting tired right there with me.
Big clinch and a takedown.
I don't think he uses wrestling a lot at all in MMA. He used to, but it's a lot easier to finish a fight with a knockout punch than wrestling somebody, so he'd be looking for that all the time.
Oh, Henderson! Her face out with that right, and the ground and pound! Henderson at the age of 40 has added the Strikeforce Light Heavyweight Championship to his mantle!
I could wrestle and take guys down a lot more than I do, but if I did that, I wouldn't be utilizing my power in my hands.
Oh, big right hand by Henderson.
It's a little tougher to finish a fight with ground and pound than it is standing up and knocking guys out. I'm not here just to win fights, otherwise I would turn every fight into a boring wrestling match.
I gotta engage him more than Machida did, because I gotta take his ass down. It's gonna be hard to take him down if I don't engage. I figured that out in my last fight. He's just not gonna come and lay underneath me. I gotta actually take him down.
And there's the big takedown by Rashad. And he has it. Nice takedown.
If I get him down on the ground, I want to ground and pound him till it's done.
Jesse Owens taking some big shots. That's it. He's gone. This fight is all over.
I've heard everybody says they're going to try and finish me.
Oh, high kick. Dan's just smiled at him.
I'm not planning on being finished by strikes or submission or anything for that matter.
You might have the greatest chin of all time in combat sports.
But it's good to have ambition. Will I defeat Rashad Evans? Absolutely. As long as I'm in shape, there's nobody that's going to beat me.
I mean, he can try to knock me out, of course. It's not gonna happen. He's not knocking me out.
I haven't knocked everybody out either, and but I sure as hell am gonna try.